This is VSiN PrimeTime. Live from the Circus Sportsbook in downtown Las Vegas on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Well, the Winnipeg Jets have scored first. So, goal to be scored in the first period. Cash it. If you bet them to score first, cash it, as the Winnipeg Jets get a goal from Velarde to open up the scoring here. We are 5 minutes into the first period, and the Jets have a 1-0 lead. Gabriel Velarde scoring 3 minutes and 35 seconds into the game. The assist to Nikolai Ehlers and Josh Morrissey. Welcome back, Josh Morrissey. The Stars are on a power play right now, but the Jets have the early 1-0 lead. Meanwhile, we are going to overtime in Florida. The Panthers and the Leafs are tied at 4. Over in the NBA, it is going to take a miracle now for us to cash our under. This is probably the worst case scenario that we could have envisioned here in this fourth quarter. If this game was out of range, maybe you would have the Pacers backups in, not pushing the pace, and the Cavs kind of milking the clock. But what's happening here is the Pacers are surging, and the Cavs are playing at a high pace to try and keep up the scoring. Honestly, this is how the Cavaliers lost leads in both of the games in this series. They have absolutely no changeup. They do not know how to change their pace and slow the game down. And so they still play fast, even though it's playing fast is leading to the other team in the Pacers having an opportunity to come back. Like, I criticize this team so much. You blow a 7-point lead with under a minute left in the game, it's inexcusable. There's not enough time to blow that lead. There's a minute 30 left. It's a 24-second shot clock. There's 4 possessions. 2 of them are yours. You can't blow that lead. And then in game number 1, you blow a double-digit lead late also. It's because they have no changeup. And you know what? I got suckered into betting the under here. I thought that they would play defense. But honestly, I kind of want to bet the Pacers to come back and win this game right now. It is a 112-95 lead for the Cavs after they just sinked a three-pointer. Man, imagine if they didn't make that three and it was 109-95. Maybe you could have the Pacers coming back again, but the Pacers are down 14. They're down right now. Live line is 14.5, and we'll see what happens here in the final 7 minutes. But your live total right now is 240.5, as this game is flying over the posted total with a hugely high-scoring second half, and it could still slow down. I mean, we've got 7 minutes, but halfway through this, not even halfway through this fourth quarter, you already have 31 points. So this is on pace for a 60-plus point fourth quarter. You had 65 points scored in the third quarter, and you're on pace for another 65 points here in the fourth quarter. That is unheard of. In an NBA playoff game where you're down 2-0, the opponent should not be scoring 60 points in the second half. You got to play defense. You got to tighten up. Like, that second quarter is how they should have played this entire game. Now, you're not going to win every quarter 34-13. That's just not going to happen. But this is a Cavaliers team, and this is why I just can't trust them. This is a Cavs team that had a 15-point lead in the first quarter. In the first quarter, had a 15-point lead, and the Pacers erased that in the first quarter. And they wound up tied at the end of the first quarter, 32-32. They dominated the second quarter, and they took a lead by 21 points, outscoring the Pacers 34-13 in the second quarter. And then in the third quarter, let the Pacers get right back into the game. Fourth quarter, it's been the same thing up until they made that three-pointer. They were being outscored 16-12 here in the fourth quarter, outscored 40 to what? 50 to 40. So Big three-pointer made by the Cavs just now. Timeout for the Pacers. 6 minutes and 50 seconds left to go. 112.95 is your score, and your live total is at 240.5. Again, it closed at 231.5. So this is flying past the total right now, unless this game somehow slows down. Not slowing down is the Winnipeg Jets, as they have added another goal to take a 2-0 lead over the Dallas Stars. Nikolai Ehlers scoring the second goal of the game. So 2-0 Jets over the Stars right now. 12 minutes to go in the first period. Cash the first period to go over. Cash the Jets to score in the first period. Cash the Jets be the first goal of the game. Updating those numbers now as you can project till tomorrow and moving forward here. Teams coming off of a loss have scored the first goal in the following game 29 out of 44 times, and they have scored a first period goal in 31 of those 44 games. So the team that loses scores in the first period, and oftentimes scores the first goal of the game, but more so than not, they score in the first period. Again, 31 out of 44 times we've had the team score that lost the game before scored in the first period. In your Major League Baseball scoreboard, I guess I know why the Dodgers were dogs here to the Diamondbacks, as they had a 1-0 lead after the top of the first inning, and Roki Sasaki gives up 3 home runs in the bottom of the first inning, as the Diamondbacks took a 3-1 lead over the Dodgers, but the Dodgers have already scored another run here in the top of the second. It is 3-2. Diamondbacks lead the Dodgers right now, and you know what? Probably the smarter play. I talked myself out of it. I talked myself into it, and I talked myself out of it. But the first 5 to go over, high number of 5.5. But we are, 1 run away from cashing that here in the second inning. So the first 5 over that was the play. I wanted to fade Eduardo Rodriguez. I knew Eduardo Rodriguez would give up runs. I guess I thought Sasaki would have something up his sleeve, and apparently not, because he gave up a solo home run to Marte, and then a 2-run shot to Gino Suarez, who is just, that guy, every time he swings, it's a home run. So right now, you got the Diamondbacks leading the Dodgers 3-2. Top of the second inning there still in Arizona. The Blue Jays with a 2-0 lead over the Mariners. Top of the second there in Seattle. And the Yankees and A's just getting underway in Sacramento. Meanwhile, keeping an eye on our total here. It has dropped down just slightly. 113 to 96. Total of 238.5. As a couple of missed shots, but the free throws not helping us. We both the Pacers and the Cavs getting to the free throw line, and that is not good for the under if there's going to be points scored with no time coming off of the clock. So we're going to monitor this final 6 minutes as this game starts to maybe get away from the Pacers. Maybe this game slows down and the Cavs try and dribble out the possessions, and the Pacers concede the loss. Then again, it's hard for a team to concede when you consider just the comebacks that they've had, and they're never out of any game, right? As I mentioned, down 7 points with a minute and a half left, twice this postseason. They have come back to win those games. So how could they ever consider themselves out of a game? I want to check in on our live prop that we gave out at the half, which was the Tyrese Halliburton to go over 10.5 points. He only had 2 points in the first half, and Halliburton, 4 points for the game. It's amazing that they're even, I know they're down They're down 6, 12, they're down 18. But isn't it amazing, with Tyrese Halliburton's got 4 points, and they're still, I guess, within range? Not within range. They're going to lose this game, but actually I shouldn't say that. Again, the Pacers, they've defied odds, winning miraculously. But Tyrese Halliburton, who wanted to silence all the haters, right, the overrated chants that were happening in Cleveland, Tyrese Halliburton in 27 minutes is a minus 13 on the floor, 2 of 8 from the field. He has not attempted a free throw in this game. 2 of 8 from the field for Tyrese Halliburton. He's got 4 points. He had 2 in the first half. He has 2 here in the second half. As every time I look, there's more free throws being shot. It's a killer for us. Come on, stop fouling. This is terrible. We don't want to see this. Live total 237.5, so we are sweating right now. We are about to begin overtime, about a minute or so away from beginning the first overtime period between the Panthers and the Maple Leafs. Your live line is the Panthers minus 154. Remember, the Panthers closed as north of $2 favorites here. So if you are a believer in the Panthers to win this game here in overtime, right now it is at minus 154. If you're betting on sports, why not try the races? First Bet has lets you wager on hundreds of races every single day from top tracks all around the U.S. and around the world. You can sign up at firstbet.com. That's the number 1 stbet.com, and use promo code VSiN200 to claim a 20% rebate for your first 60 days up to $200. Head to firstbet.com today. All right, we're going to sweat this out together as I look over, and hey, what a surprise. More free throws. Live total up to 239.5. My goodness. Overtime set to begin between the Panthers and the Maple Leafs and the Jets. A 2-0 lead here in the first period over the Dallas Stars. I'm Scott Seidenberg. This is VSiN Primetime right here on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN Primetime on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Guys, I'm not just bitter. I'm not just saying this because I'm bitter. I'm about to lose a bet, and I apologize for giving you guys a losing bet. But I've never seen anything like this. There's a foul on every single possession in this Cavs-Pacers fourth quarter. There's 4 minutes and 26 seconds left. Your live total's at 239.5. I mean, guys, you're already on pace for the over. Like, you don't need to do this. But on every single possession in this fourth quarter, here we go. We started the fourth quarter. Ready for this? We had 2 shots. We've already had 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 free throws in this fourth quarter. And on consecutive possessions, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there was a Donovan Mitchell layup with 5:30 left. But before that, 5, 6. 6 of the last 7 possessions have resulted in free throw attempts. I've never seen anything like this. It's a 20-plus point game. How about the refs swallow the whistle and let's get out of here? I mean, this is unbelievable. Every possession, there's a foul called sending these guys to the free throw line. This is like Tim Donaghy stuff here. For those who don't know what I'm referencing the referee that was, implicated in that sports gambling saga and all that stuff, and claiming that, they would fix games or whatever. But, hey, we got a possession with no free throws. Look at that. Wow. Nope, but don't worry. We're gonna have free throws on the other end. Yay. This is comical stuff here. Oh, my goodness. Every possession down the floor here is free throws. Live total right now, I'm not even going to check. It's going to take a miracle for this under to hit. The live total is already way over the over. 4 minutes left. It's at 238.5. The game closed 231. I mean, you need like 3 empty possessions here at the end of the game, but it doesn't matter. Every time there's an empty possession, there's 2 free throws being shot, and they just make all their free throws. In this game alone, there has been, let's see, there's been 29, 33, 62 free throw attempts in this game, and I want to say that we've had I mean, I'll count them afterwards, but we're already up to like at least 17, maybe 18 free throw attempts here in this fourth quarter. 63 free throw attempts already in this game, and a bunch have come here in the fourth quarter. If that's not suspicious, dude, I don't know what is. I mean, my goodness. Let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 free throw attempts in the fourth quarter. And I think we're about to get 2 more. Oh, goodness. All right. I'm Scott Seidenberg. This is VSiN PrimeTime. One loser already, and I apologize, guys. We'll do better with our best bets here moving forward. We are on the Winnipeg Jets, though, so we got to feel good about that as the Jets have a 2-0 lead over the Dallas Stars with 6 minutes to go in the first period. So we do feel good about that. We are skating in overtime right now between the Panthers and the Maple Leafs. 5 minutes into this overtime period, and we're still knotted up at 4. The Panthers are a minus 154 favorite on the live line if you wanted to bet it right now. I'm always curious to see the way the sports books react every time we have a movement in overtime, because it's like, what are you moving the line on? I can understand if there's a power play one way or another, right? Like if you get a power play, then certainly you get a team that goes on a one man advantage, and they have more of an opportunity to score. But I wonder, they might just change like the live odds based on, if we get an offensive zone face-off. And so it's crazy. It's like if you're watching the game live and you can kind of feel out that process and think, hey, just because a team has an offensive zone face-off, it shouldn't change the odds that much. You could get a reduced price on one of these teams. You could get a reduced price somewhere along the line. Like if you like the Panthers at minus 154, let's say Toronto does have an offensive zone faceoff. Like I said, maybe you can bet the Panthers live then when they are on the D zone and play it that way. Something to keep an eye on though as we progress forward. As I mentioned, 2-0. The Winnipeg Jets lead the Dallas Stars. Your live total in that game is at 6.5, so slightly above the 5.5 that it closed at. I did like the over in the game at 5.5, but the main bet, the best bet that we gave out was on the Winnipeg Jets, so we're just hoping the Jets can close out this game. It's still early, plenty of time left. We certainly know Dallas has a ton of firepower, so if you can contain the Dallas Stars, then come away with a victory, earn a split in this series, and then you head to Dallas with the series tied at a game apiece. Best case scenario, obviously, moving forward for the Winnipeg Jets. 21 free throw attempts in the fourth quarter already. I haven't seen anything like this ever. This is one of those where, like, if you did bet the over, like, how much you'd be celebrating right now. But I got to be honest, this game just should have been an under game. It should have been an easy under game. And I'm on the under again in OKC Denver. And I honestly, based on the play in this game, it should have been an under. Based on the play that I expect to see in OKC Denver, I'm going to once again bet the under. Now, this is going to go over because of 21 free throw attempts here in the fourth quarter. When it is this is a 24-point game, and we're still going to the free throw line on every single possession. I'm baffled. But if the game in Denver tonight plays out similarly to this game here tonight in Indy, we're going to be headed towards an under in that game. And I talked about the trends earlier, where if game 1 and game 2 go over, game 3 goes under 61% of the time. Those are strong numbers. And I feel it should be even stronger in a series that's 1-1 like we have with the Nuggets and the Thunder. Because of how important game number 3 is in an even series that's 1 game apiece. Right? So, let's see. I'm going to look it up. Winner of game 3 in a 1-1 NBA series. Because I'll give you the numbers. I'm sure everyone's posted those numbers that the winner of game 3 goes on to win X amount of times. Let's see. 73.3% of the time. That is massive. So let that sink in. The winner of game 3 in a 1-1 series goes on to win that NBA series 73.3% of the time. That is how important this game is. That's how important this game is. So in a game of this magnitude, the defense has to step up. And this total has been bet up. And I bring it back to what I said before the show, or right when the show started. 2 things you have to ask yourself when you see a number, when you see a line, is 1, do you understand it? And 2, can you get behind it? And I understand why the number has been bet up, why people are on the over. We just saw Oklahoma City put up a historic amount of points. And that's not hyperbole. They literally scored the most points in a first half in NBA playoffs history. And so when you see a team dominate like they dominated and score as many points as they did in that game, well, yeah, it's going to influence the recency bias and have people wagering on and over. But as now this number's kind of settled down here, 232, to me, this has underwritten all over it. We have had movement on the line, as here at Circa, OKC is now up to a 6.5-point favorite. But this is all about an under game with 2 teams that are going to keep up the defensive intensity in a game of just of the upward most magnitude and importance. I want to remind you guys, Profit X, the NBA playoffs are here, and our partners at Profit X offering the best odds on playoffs all playoffs long. Profit X, a peer-to-peer sports exchange available in 40-plus states. You're going to be able to make sports picks against other group of fans rather than against sports books, and exchanges guarantee the best odds on average by 10 to 20%. You can even request your own odds. Download Profit X today. Use code VSiN and earn up to $200 in profit cash over your first month. I'm Scott Seidenberg. It's VSiN PrimeTime here on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN PrimeTime on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
All I can say to you guys watching and listening out there here on VSiN PrimeTime, I'm Scott Seidenberg, is numbers matter. The Cavs-Pacers game opened at 228.5. It was bet up to 229.5 and then bet up further to a close at post of 231.5. Here on this program, we gave it out and we bet it at 231.5 to the under. The game ends despite 21 or 24, 21 or 23. I don't know if my math is correct or not. I'm just looking really, really quickly. Despite over 20 free throws in the fourth quarter, Cavaliers win 126-104, and that is 230 points. The game lands under 231.5. Despite a live total late in the game of 238.5 with free throw after free throw after free throw, somehow the last possessions went no score, no basket. The refs swallowed the whistle at the end of the game, and somehow it lands under 231.5. So, congratulations, guys. We cashed our best bet on the show. Or one of our best bets on the show under 231.5. Cavs Pacers. Now we turn our attention to the under in the Thunder and Nuggets game, closing here at Circa at 232. So playing an under here on this game, and your live total is at 230.5, 8-6, an early lead for the Thunder over the Nuggets. And how important is this game? Well, we talked about it last segment. The team that wins game number 3 in a series that is even at 1 apiece goes on to win that series 73.3% of the time in the NBA playoffs history. So a very, very important game number 3 here. Meanwhile, first intermission, I should say, in Winnipeg. The Jets with a 2-0 lead over the Dallas Stars after the first period, and goals by Gabe Vilardi opened up the scoring. So cash that prop on the Jets to score the first goal of the game. Cash the prop on the Jets to score a goal in the first period, as the teams that lose a game here in the Stanley Cup playoffs have bounced back the next game to score the first goal 29 out of the 44 times, but have scored a goal in the first period 31 of those 44 times. And then Nikolai Ehlers adding a second goal as the Jets lead 2-0 over the Dallas Stars, outshooting them 13-7 in that opening period. The Jets had 3 power play opportunities. They cashed in on one of them, and the Dallas Stars 0 of 2 on the power play. Looking analytically a little further into this game, let's see. This game, let's see. Well, the Stars have actually had the better of the play. Stars have had the better of the play here. More Corsi percent, dominating the play actually. 71.43% is their Corsi percentage. Well, that's in 5 versus 5. We have to look at all situations here. In all situations, the Jets slightly have the edge. Expected goals, the Jets 1.46 to the 0.81 for the Dallas Stars. The Stars a little bit unlucky here. Should have maybe gotten a goal. Both teams have 4 high-danger scoring chances. In 5v5, though, the Stars are getting the better of the play at even strength, as they had 3 high-danger scoring chances to 0 for the Winnipeg Jets. So the Stars have had the better of the play at even strength. And say what you will, how much that factors in moving forward. But if you just look at how much time was spent in this game at even strength, it was, let's see, do we have a time on this? About only half of the period, 11 minutes, was spent at even strength. And in those 11 minutes, it was the Stars outplaying the Winnipeg Jets, at least according to all the analytical numbers here that we're looking at. But in all situations, that includes the power play and the penalty kill, the Jets have had slightly the better of the play, which makes sense because the Jets have had 3 power plays compared to just 2 power plays for the Dallas Stars, and the Jets have scored on one of their power play opportunities. So 2-0, the Jets lead the Stars at the end of the first period. Your live number right now is Jets are minus 810. Your live total is 6.5. It is juiced to the under. And if you're curious about the puck line, minus 2.5 for the Winnipeg Jets, you can get minus 110 on that. As let's see, Panthers have the puck in the offensive zone here. Let's put a little pressure on. About 4 minutes left here in this first overtime period. The Panthers were north of minus $2 favorites in this game, and prior to the overtime, minus 154 on the live line was the Florida Panthers. As let's see, still, and this is a big offensive possession here. About 4:53 to go in this overtime, as the Panthers have scored the goal, and the game is over. The Florida Panthers have gotten a game, down 2-0 on home ice, playing with desperation. A win for the Florida Panthers in overtime, 5-4. Congratulations, those who laid the juice with the Panthers. too rich for my blood, but buying in on them live, certainly you could have reduced your VIG there. Prior to overtime, they were minus 154 favorites. But more importantly, the game does go over the total, and every game in this series has gone over the total. 5-4 was the final in game number 1, a win by the Maple Leafs. 4-3, a win by the Maple Leafs in game number 2, and 5-4 here tonight as the Florida Panthers win in overtime and now trail the series 2-1. Now, here's where I'm intrigued as we await to see the reposted series odds. I'm curious to see if Florida, down 2-1, we know they're going to be a favorite in game number 4. They were north of $2. North of $2 favorites here in game number 3. And yeah, the situation did play into that. The zig-zag. The home team losing the first 2 games on the road and then having to play with desperation at home. You were going to pay a tax on that team. I get it. What's the line going to be like in game 4? Are they significant favorites, or are they in a little bit closer to like the minus 150 to minus 160 range? Because if that's the case, I wonder what the series price is going to be. Now, this is the defending Stanley Cup champions, right? Got the gutsy win here in overtime. If they're, I'm trying to do the math in my head right now. So down 2-1. You're a minus, let's say, 160 favorite in game number 2, and then you're on the road. Now, they were a favorite on the road. That's not going to be the case when it goes back in game number 5. Like, remember, game number 1, we played the Maple Leafs at plus 110. That was crazy. That's not going to be the case for game number 5 when the series goes back to Toronto. So I would imagine Toronto is a slight favorite at home in game 5. Panthers a heavy favorite in game 6. The Panthers are going to be favored to win the series. Down 2-1. I'm going to predict that. We're going to wait to see when this market gets posted. I'm predicting the Panthers are going to be favored to win this series now. And remember the old cliche. In a 7-game series, a series does not begin until a team loses a home game. And right now, the home team has held serve through the first 3 games of this series. Toronto winning the first 2, Florida winning game number 3, and Florida will be a heavy favorite in game number 4. We're going to keep refreshing the DraftKings page here to see once they post a game 4 line and an updated series price. But if I had to guess, they're not going to be Florida as heavily favored as they were in this game, so it's not going to be minus 200 or minus 230. It'll probably be around the 160 range. That's just my assumption here. And if that's going to be the case, then they're going to be favored in the series moving forward. And can you bet against them in the series moving forward? This was a huge game. I don't know if I can bet against them moving forward because I do like them to win game number 4 on home ice. Unless we get a return of Anthony Stolarz, which will not be in game number 4. He did not travel with the Maple Leafs to Florida. So the earliest you're going to see Anthony Stolarz, starting goaltender for the Toronto Maple Leafs, would be in game 5 in Toronto. No update just yet. We're going to keep refreshing the page to see where we're at here. But I would assume, and you never want to assume, but I would make the Panthers about a minus 160 favorite for game number 4, and I'd make them a small favorite to win this series. We'll update you on the Thunder Nuggets first quarter and the Major League Baseball scoreboard coming up next. I'm Scott Seidenberg. This is VSiN PrimeTime here on the Sports Betting Network.
If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high-quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is VSiN PrimeTime on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Back here on VSiN Primetime. I'm Scott Seidenberg, always on Twitter at ScottsOnAir, ScottsOnAir. I tweeted out, getting some traction on the tweet here, about how numbers matter, people. That's right, numbers matter when it comes to sports betting. The total did get pushed up in that game between the Cavs and the Pacers, and we were able to get the under at 231.5. Had we gotten the under at 229.5, we would have lost. But the under at 231.5 is a winner because numbers matter. That's why you always got to shop around for the best number. And you could have even had a 232 out there, which would have been even less of a sweat. But the numbers right now, if you're looking across the board here for the Denver Nuggets Oklahoma City Thunder game, the Thunder closed as a 6-point favorite here at Circa. 6.5 was widely available across the board if you wanted to take the Nuggets. The 6.5 was the best number you could have gotten. And the total at 232, that was the highest it got if you wanted to play an under. If you wanted to play an over, there was a 231.5 available offshore. So that was the best number you could have gotten on an over. Right now, early on in this game, it is a 25-18 lead for the Thunder over the Nuggets. 2:49 to go in the first quarter. And your live line is Thunder minus 9.5 with a live total of 232.5. We are still awaiting the start of the second period in Winnipeg with the Jets leading the Stars 2-0. Your live total is at 5.5, which is what it was prior to the game beginning, and it is juiced at minus 145 to the over. It is a play that I do like. I was already on the over before the game at minus 130, minus 145. I would still play an over 5.5, but the Winnipeg Jets was our best bet that we gave out for that game. And right now with the 2-0 lead after the first period, we feel pretty good about that. Although we did look at the advanced numbers in the last break or the last segment, and at even strength, this game has been dominated by the Stars. But 3 power play opportunities for the Jets, only 2 for the Dallas Stars, and the Jets cashing in on 1 of their power plays. That's the difference in the game right now. It is a 2-0 score for the Winnipeg Jets in the first intermission. Updating the Major League Baseball scoreboard right now, the Red Sox and Royals are tied at 1, bottom of the 12th inning there in Kansas City. Royals do have the ghost runner on second. We'll see if they can walk it off, but they were unable to do so in the 10th and the 11th. The Padres, a 12-2 lead over the Rockies in the top of the 7th. That game has officially gone over, and the Padres have gone over their team total. If you bet the first 5 over, Padres scored 5 runs in the top of the 5th inning to help you cash that, as it was 6.5, and you only had 6 runs going into that top of the 5th inning. But the Padres with a 5 spot there in the top of the 6th. Antonio Senzatella continues to be a great fade. He allowed 8 runs on 9 hits. No home runs, though, surprisingly, but 8 runs on 9 hits in 4 2/3 innings, as the Padres by themselves go over the total of 11.5, 12-2. Padres lead the Rockies, top of the 7th there in Colorado. Top of the 5th inning in Anaheim, it's all Orioles on top of the Angels, 3-0. Top of the 4th inning in Arizona, the Dodgers with an 8-3 lead over the Diamondbacks. LA scored 1 run in the top of the 1st inning. Diamondbacks then hit 2 home runs off of Roki Sasaki in the bottom of the 1st inning. And then the Dodgers added 2 runs in the top of the 2nd before 5 runs in the top of the 3rd, all off of Eduardo Rodriguez. And this is why I didn't understand the line. Now, this was a situation where, as I say, you ask yourself the questions when you look at a line. Do you understand it? Can you get behind it? This is one that I didn't understand, and so I wanted to attack it. I didn't understand why the Diamondbacks were short favorites here over the Dodgers. Not with Eduardo Rodriguez on the mound, not with Eduardo Rodriguez, who had allowed at least 3 runs in every single start this season. Yes, Sasaki gave up 3 runs on those 2 homers, but Erod gets tagged for 8 runs on 9 hits in just 2 2/3 innings as we head to the top of the 4th there in Arizona with the Dodgers leading 8-3. Going to the bottom of the 4th in Seattle, the Mariners did scratch a run across in the bottom of the 3rd. They lead the Blue Jays they trail the Blue Jays 5-1. The Blue Jays scoring 2 runs in the top of the 1st inning, and then 3 runs in the top of the 3rd inning on a 3 3 runs in the top of the 3rd inning on a Clement single and a Lucas 2-run home run. And then first and third with only 1 out, Polanco singles in a run for the Mariners. And then Julio Rodriguez with 2 outs lines out to the third baseman. And looking at StatCast data, 111.1 miles per hour off the bat of Julio Rodriguez, an expected batting average on that swing of 760. An expected batting average of 760 on that play, and it was a line out to the third baseman. I don't know if it was a diving play or if he just hit it right at him. Usually if it's hit right at a player, the expected batting average is not that high. So I'm kind of intrigued to see what the play was. Maybe it was a nice jumping grab or whatever, but the expected batting average of 760 and with 2 outs, man, that would have scored at least 1 and maybe scored the runner from first also. Could have been a different ball game had that gotten through to the outfield. But nevertheless, it is a 5-1 score here for the Blue Jays on top of the Mariners, bottom of the 4th inning there in Seattle. And the Yankees, thanks to back-to-back home runs by Paul Goldschmidt and Jason Dominguez, have an early 2-0 lead over the A's, top of the 4th inning there in Sacramento. Recapping the best bets that we gave out in Major League Baseball, it was all 3. It was not 3 favorites. It was 2 favorites in the Mariners and the Yankees, but it was the Dodgers as the short dog price at even money, or minus 105, depending on your book. Dodgers now with the 8-3 lead. Bottom of the 4th inning, Diamondbacks do get a leadoff double, so they have a runner on second with nobody out. That's going to just continue. The game's already gone over the total of 9.5, or it might have been 10, depending on your book, but you're at 11 runs already, and trust me, they're not done scoring there in Arizona. If you were intrigued by a live total on that game, let's see. Live total, we'll try and refresh the page. We are at Dodgers at 17.5. My goodness. That is crazy. I'll tell you what I am interested in, though. Mariners and Blue Jays, live total of 10.5. I mean, I'm on the reason why I'm not like just writing off this bet as a loss for betting the Mariners on the money line. And right now, you can get the Mariners at plus 575 if you want to take them on the money line. Or you can bet them on the run line at plus 3.5 runs right now at minus 110. I don't hate either of those bets because the Toronto Blue Jays bullpen stinks. And I have no faith in the Blue Jays bullpen in holding this lead. So that's why I'm not just writing this off as a loss just yet, because Mariners can easily score on this Blue Jays bullpen. Not dead just yet. Checking out the NBA scoreboard right now as we are sweating out another under. We just barely got home in the Pacers-Cavaliers game, and we are hoping to get home here in Denver. 28-22. That is your score after the first quarter here in Denver, as the Nuggets have a 28-22 lead over the Nuggets. Let me just refresh the page so we can get your live total here on this game, as it is at 222.5. So trending towards the under. Can't be happy about anything just now because learn our lesson from the first game. After an incredibly low-scoring effort by the Pacers in the second quarter, scoring only 13 points, we felt great about the live total, but it still came down to 3 missed shots in the closing seconds to have us hitting under. So, and you know what? The refs tried to do their best to push the game to go over in the fourth quarter with, 23 free throw attempts in the fourth quarter. Just embarrassing. But right now, your live line, Thunder minus 8.5, and your live total up to 223.5. And the Jets still holding on to a 2-0 lead over the Stars 3 minutes into the second period. Coming up next here on VSiN, right after us on Primetime, it's the Sports Gambling Podcast with our guys, Ryan Kramer and Sean Green. Curious to get their guys' takes on what's going on here in the playoffs. And I wouldn't be surprised if these guys have a couple of comments on seeing the rookies in the NFL in uniform. I'm sure Ryan's going to talk about seeing Jackson Dart for the first time in a Giants uniform. So the Sports Gambling Podcast with Sean Green and Ryan Kramer coming up next here on VSiN. Then start your day off tomorrow with the VSiN Weekend Morning Line at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, followed by Ready, Set, Bet at 1 o'clock Eastern Time tomorrow. And then tomorrow night, I will be back on Live Bet Saturday as I take you through the NBA playoff action. Of course, tomorrow we have the Celtics and the Knicks. That is an early afternoon game at 3:30 Eastern time. But tomorrow night we have Warriors-Timberwolves game number 3 from San Francisco, and that total is all the way down to 200.5. But we might have another system play like we did tonight for that game. And then Stanley Cup playoff action tomorrow as well. So I'll be back on Live Bet Saturday. But don't forget, Sports Gambling Podcast, guys, come your way next. You can always hit me up on Twitter at ScottsOnAir. This is VSiN Primetime here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is your before and after story, where your first steps towards a new life-changing career begin. Southeastern College can take you there. We offer in-demand hybrid and online programs with hands-on training, led by in-field career professionals, and career services to put you on the path to a rewarding and fulfilling future. This is where your transformation begins. Southeastern College, your future is bright. Visit sec.edu to get started.